Test. Can you guys hear me?
Clear.
Yep. Awesome. How's everybody doing? You guys good?
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, pretty good.
All right. So yeah, it doesn't look like we have that much to cover this week. Kind of slow like last week with the year winding down and everything. We do have a live proposal. Agate 155 is up, a partial treasury distribution, or the PTD. There's still 2 more weeks to vote on that. I think it ends on the 30th, and it's currently sitting at 71.69% quorum. Yeah, I mean, most of the discussion has already happened around that, I feel, and there was all the polls and kind of the other proposals leading up to it. So, yeah, it seems like in the forum, the discussion's kind of cooled off. But other than that, we have the, let me just post the link real quick. The Aavegotchi DAO market maker proposal. Kodaden, do you want to, I mean, it's at the bottom there, but do you want to maybe pin the draft that you posted in that thread just so it's at the top?
Good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I read through that. I saw that VR Dev had made some comments. That hasn't been much. I mean, you guys had a back and forth kind of, but aside from that, there hasn't been much discussion. Do you want to talk about it a little bit? And are we going to be expecting the proposal within the next week or so?
Yeah, I wanted to give it a little bit of time if anyone had any things that they wanted to, like Nestor had a good idea about like maybe there should be a clause if there is a drawdown or something on the funds. Maybe we have like a stop loss. So that is something we can talk about tonight. Like, because there is, it's not risk free. There's funds. They're trading with the funds. They're not guaranteeing that we'll get all of our funds back, or we might get more funds back when the contract ends, depending on how the market goes, how their trading goes. I mean, they try to be delta neutral, but there is always risk of anything happening. So Nestor had the point, maybe we should add in kind of a stop loss if there was a drawdown. Like, what's the maximum drawdown that the DAO is willing to accept, and without having to do like a new sig prop core prop to like in the contract, basically. I'm going to put it up. Basically, I want to have this DAO call and then answer any questions, and then I probably will put it up as a prop tomorrow. It's kind of long. I'm not sure if it'll even fit on Snapshot. I hope it will. I think it should be. It should be fine. If not, I'll just put a link to the full doc here.
Yeah.
But VR Dev, you've been pretty active. Do you have any? I answered some of your questions today, and is Nestor? Yeah, Nestor, you're here. Do you guys have any more things that we want to clarify, or any phrases that we'd prefer to change? There was a question about the Skynet and whether they will be a custodian or the DAO should open our own account. Basically, the clause says, where possible, accounts remain under DAO or designated entity ownership, with Skynet having only necessary trading access. So, I mean, where possible, I think, is the key here. If it's not possible I don't know if it's something the DAO is able or willing, or it's possible to do or not, to open a Binance account. So I figured they would just be custodian, because maybe it's not possible.
See, Nestor's on stage. Welcome, Nestor.
Hi, Face. Hi, Kodaden. Hey. Well, my idea was, if there should something unexpected happen, like a major drawdown, it would be nice to talk to them again, as well as talk to them maybe every quarter, about because I think it would be quite valuable to have a chat with them every now and then.
Yeah, I mean, he's in. I'm sure they're like Justin and their whole team is pretty active
Accessible.
and yeah, they're accessible. He's in the chat. I forget what. Does anyone know his username? It was something Justin something. I forget. There's a lot of Justins in our chat. If anyone remembers which one it was, but he's here. And if there was like an issue like October 10th kind of, massive liquidations across the board. I think Skynet did fare okay with that. I don't think they were affected that much, but that would be a time we could reach out to them, and they're very accessible.
So I think there's two parts. They've always been very much like they assign an account manager who you can message with, DMs anytime, and he'll set up a call. And then there's a second part, which I think, Nestor, you're saying is let's formalize, a quarterly visit to the Discord. I think they'll publish like a end of month. I think it was monthly, like some monthly snapshot report as a document that they can deliver to whatever email or wherever we want them to send that. But for an actual call, I think that they would probably do it. I mean, he already showed up once on a whim, so they're very responsive.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Because the dashboard also sounds interesting. You wrote it like either the dashboard or the report, but I think both could be possible too, right?
Yeah, I just changed it to and or and. I think the dashboard is just something they have already set up, so that we'll definitely have. And then whether or not they'll make a monthly or quarterly post, we can obviously ask them to, and they probably just take a snapshot of what's on the dashboard and put that in.
That's good.
And as far as the contracts, like I'm not trying to hold back anything. It's just there. I asked them for if we could share the full agreement that they'd shared with us previously, and they just said they'd have to ask compliance because maybe there might be some things in there that they don't really want out fully in the public. Although I don't know, I looked at it seemed fine. But I'm just waiting for their answer about that. And then depending on what they say with that, I mean, maybe it's something Nestor can take a look at.
Yes.
If they're not comfortable sharing like the full agreement publicly in a public forum, I mean that, this is like it's a private company. Things.
So they would share it first. First with,
they've shared it with us, and we can share it, or they can share it with you, Nestor, if people are okay with that.
And then we would, decide if everything is, be shown. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pushing to get them to just say, hey, like, rewrite it in a way that we can just share it with everyone. That'd be better. I don't want to have to like play telephone. And then as far as there was a couple questions about the budget and getting funds back. So it's a 12-month agreement, and I don't really know like why they need to structure it that way. I mean, really, it's more like a monthly agreement with a 12-month period. But at any point we can come to them and say, hey, we want to end the agreement, as long as we give 1 month notice. And then after that 12 months, it just renews monthly. It's kind of the same thing. Maybe it's something for their internal accounting or legal or, some reason. So really it's more like a monthly retainer agreement with a 12-month initial period. And then after that, it just renews monthly.
Yes, I could maybe even draw in some expert opinion if it is something that is really necessary to know or not. So not only I would assess it, but I could ask, of course, legal counsel or like an expert. if it was something that they don't want to share because of compliance. Yes.
Okay, great.
Sounds
So
good.
from what I understood, CodeDan, you're not going to be around next week. Do you think the SIG prop will go up before then?
Oh yeah. I was wanting to wait for them to like share an agreement so I could let people see that, because otherwise, I know people might FUD that, just say, "Hey, we haven't seen the agreement." Like, I'm voting no on it. So if I can get the agreement out, or at least a form of it, I'll try to before I post a SIG prop, just so the kind of some of the opposing voices don't really have that argument. But if not, I don't want to wait too long, because I know that from what I've seen, that like Binance will, after the holidays, they'll probably come back and do another like check. So it'd be nice if we could have some improvement in at least one of their metrics before they do that check. So yeah, I'm kind of in a hurry, but I don't want to put the cart before the horse too much until we have everything ready.
Yeah, exactly. That okay. So yeah, as VR Dev is saying, this shouldn't delay things. For the SIG prop, things should be fine as is. Like, I guess his earlier comment was also mentioning that we'd like to see the agreement probably before it goes to core.
Yeah, makes sense.
Makes sense. Yeah, because this could be based on the discussion that's being had right now in the thread. All right.
Yeah. I'm just checking if there's any other things to respond to. Yeah. Aavegotchi mentioned that ghost status maybe should be part of our success metric, and we can't control Binance. So all we can do is improve some of the KPIs that we know they are looking at. So, but it doesn't guarantee anything about whether ghost will be reverted back to its previous status. So I can't like put that as a success metric. That'll be obviously that's the goal, but it's not something we can really evaluate the performance of Skynet on. Paying from the DAO distribution pool. No, I think this would come from the liquidity wallet that's been allocated during that was like the original bonding curve tranches. I think we had Maxi Crouton confirming that a week or two ago.
Yeah, I think he mentioned it in the thread as well. Just check.
Cool. Well, other than that, if there's anyone else has any comments, drop them in, and I'll get this to SIG prop ASAP now that we've had about a week of discussion and commenting on it in the forum.
Excellent. Okay, thank you. Other than that, we've had recently Fifu has stepped down from the signers, from the Ledger Monkeys. And I noticed in DAO discussion, VR Dev reminded us that we like the term for the current directors is ending. Haven't really checked, but I know that officially we ended we started our term. The SIG prop went up last year around this time. It was December. I think that's when we were supposed to be instated, but then there was a little bit of a delay with the onboarding. And as I remember, I think the old signers stayed on. I think they got their last payment in December of last year as well. So I think like the 3 months just kind of elapsed. It was like this in-between period. Then we had a couple of replacements that happened after that. So March of 2025, I think it was Aavegotchi 1.eth. I think he stepped down, and then we lost Hardcore as well. So we had two replacements. Fifu was one of those replacements, actually. but each of those happened like I think it was about a month away from each other. So I'm just a little bit confused about the time, or like when I should post a new election if that's what's needed. VR Dev, if you're still here, oh, he's not. Oh, he is here. Yeah, I responded to your comment in the DAO discussion thread, but you didn't really get back to me. I would have put it up already, but like I didn't know if that's too soon or. So any information would help, really. Just like we need a 9th regardless. But then, yeah, like the term is officially up. I don't know if you guys want to count that as of December or if you want to count it as if we started in March, you know?
Well, I posted the wording from the AGIP 139. If you see it in the chat.
Yes.
What does it mean exactly? If someone gets replaced, he's finishing the term. The replacement is finishing the term. Let's see.
Yeah, VR Dev also reminded me of that. He put it in the chat. The thing, I think there was language in that prop that said something about the replacement, like it would be next in line succession. Basically, the next person on the list who had the highest number of votes would come in for the person who is stepping down. But we had a 6-month cap on that, so it wasn't like we're way past the 6 months at this point. Like we're at the end of the term. So that's the only reason it doesn't work. And if I'm not sure, I don't think, I'd have to check, but like I think because FIFU was already that. FIFU got replaced somebody else while we were still like within the first 6 months. So there's just a little bit of confusion with the timing. Like, okay, VR Dev's here saying, I only remembered that term delay after you brought it up. If you would author the next election, I think it's up to you, Face. Huh, okay. Well, I put it in the DAO discussion. Hopefully, like if anybody else, I mean, I guess...
It was March,
go ahead,
at the beginning of March. It will be at the beginning of March, I think, was the last vote, if I'm not mistaken. That was renewal and election of no. A bit later. I think it was March, as you said, March.
Yeah. So I guess the thing to do would probably be, I mean, if you guys are, you know, just want to get your opinion, but would the best thing to do just kind of bump up the old election thread that we have just to see if anybody else is interested in having their name placed for the role, like to be voted on?
That's a good idea, I think. Start early.
That should probably be that should probably be the first step, just because we have to even see if we have 9. You know what I mean? Like if people are going to step down or something, like, yeah, first things first, I guess.
Yeah.
I think the main confusion is from having a main election and then in addition a replacement election, and then one or more of those got delayed. So are all the directors even on the same term, or do we have different terms for different directors? Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, look, as we said, the first one where we established basically a new team of 9 was in December. By the time everyone was onboarded and added to the safe and all that, it was March. Like I wasn't signing transactions till way later. But it's cool because we also weren't compensated. Like I said, the people who were already on board right before they left, they got a final payout. And you know, I didn't check, but all those transactions in that 3-month period were signed, and we didn't have any problems. So I guess it worked out fine. But it's just like, yeah, 9 people came in December. They were all, you know, the new ones out of those 9 were officially added by March, and then I think 1 month after that, and then another month after that, we had 2 replacements. So however you guys want to chop it up or calculate it, I have no issues personally. Like I just wanted to get some opinions to know about like what the next step is. But I think it's probably just to have people put their names up so that we can establish at least 9, and then take it from there.
And what about the reduction? That is out of the question. If there shouldn't be enough signers ready and willing.
Right.
Just as a thought.
I mean, exactly. I mean, we'd have to deal with it for sure. Yeah.
Real quickly,
reduce it to 7, for example, 4 of 7 or something like that.
Just very quickly, I want to chime in. We are currently, I think, at 7 of 9 because FIFO stepping down, and then Choina, I don't think is signing transactions anymore because he did step down. So that's something to be aware of. We are at 7 of 9. So if we have directors who aren't participating, we've seen this recently where it becomes difficult to get the 5 signatures, in a timely manner. It does happen. We are getting through it, but we do have a risk here that if we lose another director in the next few months, that we could be very close to only having 5 of 5 signable people.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't notice that. Okay, yeah, so China also stepped down. I thought that was just the director. See, again, there's a little confusion there between because when we were elected, the title officially was still director, and then we kind of made the distinction halfway through the year with the Ledger Monkeys. So
yes,
okay,
that should be
so yeah, we're
added.
7 up.
That should be added in the next election too. That we are voting on multi-signers and not on directors, as to because of the liability question.
Right. Right. So it's probably actually a good idea to just start a new thread for that. Just because if I bump up the old one, I think that we're still called directors there, and people might be a little confused if they're just kind of tuning in casually.
As you say, I think it should be cleared up. Yeah, what it is, and so maybe a fresh vote for multi-sig signers would be in order. It would be my proposal.
Yeah. Right. Sure. Absolutely. Okay, so I'll do a thread either today or tomorrow. A new one. No need to kind of continue off the old election thread. I'll just bump up a new one with the change in terminology, I guess. And yes, Choina, thank you. Choina is correct. He did. That's true. Thanks for the reminder. But he's saying you may have noticed I was only paid to the date of October 15th in the last director's disbursement. Okay, so that. Right. The focus was just on you and no future trying to get off as directors, so that's why I think I kind of forgot about that. All right, perfect. Yeah, I'll have that up, like I said, today or tomorrow, and then if we can't get, we'll give it like maybe a couple of days and just see if we will even have 9 people apply. And if we don't, at some point, we got to just figure out how to deal with that. So, are we, like you were saying, Nestor, are we just going to reduce it down to 7, let's say, or
for example,
whatever?
Right.
Yeah.
I'd also say it's probably wise to talk to the CorpSec and just get the information for people who are going to apply for this position on the level of KYC. The KYC for the multi-sig is different than for the officer role. So just so people are aware as they go into it, because the thing that worries me that could happen is people apply for the election and then they don't want to go through the KYC, and then because that kind of happened, and then we lose people after an election and we get delayed.
Yeah, that's a very good point too.
Yes, that should be 100% clear. What is necessary.
So who do we be reaching out to in that case? It would be in the CorpSec channel,
Tim Ravel.
Yeah, our KYC honestly was all over the place last time. Like me and Hardcore, and I think one other person did it through some third party. Like Hardcore had sent me the link, and then we all didn't go through the same channels. That's for sure.
For the record,
so the timing was all off.
Yeah, what Hardcore did, that KYC was that was just him going on a side mission. Johnson will have different requirements that he'll like. I think Nestor just went through it on the higher level, but basically you'll email him certain documents for proof of identity and I think proof of address. For the officers, it's a little more intensive. You need proof of like income, proof of like, you know, your wealth. I don't even remember because it's been so while. It's been a while.
For the multi-sig
Okay.
signers, it was only the like a copy of something or of residence, or what was it?
It's
What was
hard
the
to
An
minimum?
ID, honestly.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hard to
ID.
say because
Address and
once Johnson came on, he wanted us all to do the heightened level of KYC that Nestor just went through, and then most people said that they would step down. Not most, but like a decent number of people said that they wouldn't continue on at that level. So to be honest, I don't know if like FaZe, did you ever submit documents to Tim Rabel? It was just me and Choina. I think we were the only ones. And me, Choina,
yeah,
and
no, I
Hardcore.
didn't. I sent my hardcore sent me. I sent basically an ID and an address. Like the ID had an address on it.
Yeah, because Hardcore wasn't acting.
I don't even know
on-
who ended up getting that, to be honest.
Hardcore. Like he wasn't acting on behalf of the CorpSec. You can go back and look at the CorpSec channel. Johnson had made it clear that like we have to KYC, but the focus was me and Choina had to KYC because we were originally on the docs, and then we had to get a statement. I think Thrax wrote it to get Mike Callium removed, like he official like statement from
Right.
the DAO saying that he was no longer part. So I believe there is a level of KYC, but when we were trying to save the foundation, the focus was we need the officers KYC. But Tim Rabel has said, because I think Kokushu actually went through the process because he was also added back. We have to figure out how that term is going to be dealt with because he was added for hardcore in, I think, July, and he had to go through some level of KYC. I just don't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah, I would say we ask simply Tim Rabel, and he will communicate with CorpSec, and he will tell us exactly what he needs for this role for the multi-sig signers. I think so. So we simply ask him.
Okay, excellent. Do you think you could do that in the CorpSec channel, or is that like?
Yes.
Are you
No,
okay with that?
I'm okay with that. I'll do that.
Excellent, thank you. Okay, so I guess we'll wait on that just to be able to kind of give that information in the thread when we're asking people if they're gonna if they're interested in applying, and we could take it from there.
I'm gonna jump here, friends. Got early morning tomorrow. Won't be at probably won't be at the hangout. I'll try. I might be able to make it, but we got some plans next week. So hope everyone has a blessed holiday season, Christmas, and any other holidays that you're celebrating. And we'll see you guys, if not before, then definitely after the new year. And of course, here in the chat and on X.
Sounds good. Awesome, man. Have a good time.
All right,
Have a
guys.
nice weekend.
Peace.
Bye.
Peace. Nestor, I think there's a question for you from No Future.
Yeah.
No Future, you could just
Yes.
unmute. Yeah.
I just wanted to say goodbye. Yes. I just received a few hours ago. I have to print it out, I guess. An appointment document for director. So I'm about to sign it in. I already wanted to go outside, print it out, sign it, and send it back to Johnson. And that should be the official part. After which I guess so. It's a simple document with the heading appointment. Let me see. And I have to sign it. Yes. So I guess that's the official part of it. But I hope it is sufficient to send it like with a photocopy. That would be. Or what do you think? I hope I don't have to send it to Singapore by mail.
No, I think it'll be fine.
When we did it, we didn't have to sign anything because our names were on it. But I think like he had us like. I'm surprised he didn't send like a DocuSign type thing. But you might have to send it to Singapore. You'll have to check with Johnson.
I check with him. Right. I sent him this. okay, maybe if he's accepting it, if he accepts it, then it's okay. If he wants to send it, well, then I will send it by express to Singapore. Yeah. But I received
Excellent.
it just now, like 2 hours ago.
You're official, sir.
Almost.
Almost,
We're almost
right?
there. Yeah.
Okay, so just to recap one last time before we go, because I said either today or tomorrow. So actually, we're gonna wait to hear back from CorpSec about what's needed for anybody applying for
Yes.
the role of Ledger Monkey, aka Multi-Sig signer. And as soon as we get that information, the thread will be up for people to nominate themselves, and we'll move from there.
That's correct. In the next few hours, I will contact him with the signed document and add the question about the requirements for simply multi-signers.
Right. Excellent. Thank you, man. And thank you everybody else for tuning in. I guess that's all we got. See you next week.
Have a nice weekend.
Peace, friends.
Bye-bye.